whatever you're doing in your lives, we're all gonna die one day. Live your life while you're here, because your life couldn't hit you like that to try and enjoy everything.
You've probably heard the news that Anthony Joshua survived a serious car accident in Ogun State, Nigeria, and that 2 people close to him died in the crash. The men who worked with him every day, traveled with him, and helped make him the fighter he is today. The question is now simple. Can a fighter return to the ring the same way after losing people who kept him safe and guided him? Can he recover physically and mentally from an accident like this and continue performing at the highest level? Or is this the end of Anthony Joshua's boxing career after the accident? To ride on, don't forget to like and subscribe as we tell you step by step the factual reason why this could be the end of the former world champion's boxing career.
We now also understand that Joshua has been discharged from hospital and he will spend a few days here in Nigeria before then probably returning back to the UK. But the question is, mentally, will he be able to return to the ring?
What would I want to see?
Firstly, let me refresh your memory on who he is and where he comes from. Now, talking about who is Anthony Joshua. He's a British-Nigerian heavyweight boxer. He's a former world champion and has competed at the highest level of over decades. Anthony Joshua's rise to heavyweight champion was shaped by a few key victories that defined his career. In 2015, he defeated Dillian Whyte in a heated rivalry that tested his composure and toughness, announcing him as more than just a promised prospect. In 2016, Joshua became a world champion for the first time when he stopped Charles Martin to win the IBF heavyweight title. That win changed his status overnight and placed him firmly on the global stage. The defining moments came in 2017 at Wembley Stadium, where Joshua stopped former long-reigning champion Vladimir Klitschko after being knocked down himself. The fight established himself as legitimate world-level heavyweight and global star. He later unified the division by appointing Joseph Parker in 2018 and reinforced his credibility by stopping the experienced Alexander Povetkin after losing his title to Andy Ruiz Jr. Joshua reclaimed them in the rematch through a disciplined, controlled performance. Together, these wins built his reputation as a champion known for structure, resilience, and professionalism, qualities that carried him into the next chapter of his career. But the truth is that for every fight, every training session, every decision, the loss and the wins is guided by the system Anthony and his team have built over the years. Today, 2 people who were in his team are now dead. But why? What really happened? What's the cause of their death in the first place? Talking about the accident, on December 29, 2025, Anthony Joshua was involved in a serious car accident on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State, Nigeria. Reports confirmed that his vehicle, a Lexus SUV, collided with a stationary truck parked by the side of the road. The exact cause of the collision is under investigation, but authorities noted that parked vehicles along the highway are known problem. Joshua was a passenger in the vehicle. He survived the crash with injuries described as minor, and he was quickly taken to hospital for treatment. However, the crash was fatal for 2 people who were traveling with him. Their deaths have been confirmed by multiple sources. The accident requires urgent medical attention, and Joshua was later flown abroad for further observation and treatment. The decision to move him outside the country highlights the seriousness of the crash and raises questions about immediate medical capacity in the area, which is Nigeria entirely. But the most important part of the accident is not that Joshua survived it, it is who he lost. Those who died were integral to the structure and routine that made Joshua a world-class athlete. Without them, the very foundation of his daily life and career was shaken. So understanding who they were and the roles they played in his life is essential to seeing how his accident could change everything for the boxer. Let me tell you exactly who they are and the role they played in Anthony Joshua's life. Talking about the 2 men that died that day, the first was Sinagami, Joshua's strength and conditioning coach. Gami, of Nigerian descent, had been working with Joshua for over 5 years. He oversaw Joshua's physical training, ensuring that his strength, endurance, and agility were maintained at world-class level. Gami was present at every major training camp and traveled with Joshua to all international fights. His guidance went beyond standard coaching. He understood Joshua's body, his limits, and his strength. Losing him means losing someone who could anticipate Joshua's physical needs before they became problems in the ring. The second was Lateef Ayodele, Joshua's personal trainer and longtime confidant. Ayodele, also of Nigerian heritage, had been part of Joshua's inner circle for more than 6 years. He handled the daily regimen of exercise, diet and warm-ups, and he was often the first Joshua spoke to each morning about plans and routines. He was with Joshua throughout victories and defeats, maintaining a steady presence that allowed Joshua to focus entirely on boxing. Ayodele's knowledge about Joshua's habits and mental state made him indispensable to maintaining not just a physical performance but emotional balance before every fight. They traveled together, trained together, and were involved in every preparatory detail leading to major matches. Their loss is not just personal, it disrupts the careful, constructed system that has allowed Joshua to compete at the highest level for the years. Now let me tell you how both the loss of his friends and the possible injuries of Anthony Joshua may have acquired during the accident can affect him mentally and physically. On the mental stage of it and the effect, the loss of two close friends of his team will not only affect Anthony Joshua's routine, it will also introduce a mental challenge that is often invisible but very powerful. Because in situations like this, fighters can experience trauma in ways that do not show outwardly. Experiencing the sudden death of trusted companions while surviving the same accident can leave a lasting impact, even for someone as disciplined as Joshua. Patterns seen in elite athletes show that survival guilt can appear quietly. They continue to train, continue to fight, and continue the daily routines, but internally, the weight of loss can influence the decisions and the performance. Some fighters step away from the sport for weeks or even months without even public explanations. Others extend their breaks indefinitely, sometimes never return to the same level of focus and confidence they ever had. The absence cannot be replaced overnight, so this gap in his support system creates uncertainty, even if he's physically capable of returning to the training ground. Now, talking about the physical aspect of it, after surviving the crash, Anthony Joshua's body may have faced challenges that are not immediately visible. In situations like this, high-impact vehicle accidents, soft tissue injuries can occur, such as damage to the muscle, ligaments, or tendons that does not always show in standard scans. These injuries can affect movement, power, and endurance in every little way. Balance is another concern one must look at. A fighter like Joshua relies on precise weight distribution, footwork, and stability to deliver punches effectively and avoid getting hit. Even a small distortion to the balance can slow reactions and reduce confidence in the ring. Timing is equally critical. Boxing is not just about strength, it's about rhythm, anticipation, and readiness to opponent's movement. No doubt, some injuries don't end careers on paper. They end them in performance. And when you stop giving people the high performance they expect from you, you start losing their support. But we can talk about this all day long without addressing the elephant in the room, which is Nigerian's broken system. Talking about Nigerian broken system in everything that happened, the accident involving Anthony Joshua also highlights the environment in which it occurred on Lagos Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State. Trucks are often parked along the roadside, creating hazards for drivers, and the enforcement of road safety rules is inconsistent, and accidents of this kind happen frequently to ordinary people, of which we don't always see in the news. Emergency response is another concern. Reports indicate that Joshua was quickly taken from the crash site, but the speed and level of medical care available locally may not have matched what is provided in specialized trauma center abroad. The decision to fly him overseas for further treatment shows how serious the situation was, and it raises questions about how unprepared local facilities are not to handle emergencies involving high-profile individuals or serious injured people. Many Nigerians watching this story are left asking the question, what could have happened if Joshua's condition had worsened during the flight? What if complications developed mid-air? Does it mean he would have died too because Nigerians lack good medical policies? In conclusion to all this, to be honest, yes, we know that Anthony Joshua survived the accident and he remains a champion in resilience. But the boxing is not only about surviving. It's about confidence in every movement, trust in the people who guided and protected you, and timing that can make the difference between victory and defeat. But all of these elements have been disrupted by the events on that road in Ogun State. Whether Joshua can return to the ring with same focus, skill, and support will determine what happens next. Fans and observers are left to ask the question: can a fighter rebuild everything he has lost, both seen and unseen, and step into the ring as the same champion he was before now? Or will he come out one day and announce his retirement from boxing due to the loss he has faced? This is not just a story about a crash or an accident. It's about the fragility of life, the importance of working support system, and the hope that the former world champion will come back stronger than he was. If you love the truth and wants to be part of the truth, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, bye for now.